So what I was thinking we would do, and correct the agenda where appropriate, is I'm now logged in as a user, and we're on the Student Accelerator site right now. You can see the URL up in the upper left, CAUST. So I was going to just kind of review the student experience, and then log out and log back in as someone who would give a review, so we can look at the reviewer experience. And then I was just going to log in as the administrator, so you can see all three. And just so you know, I'm recording this, so we can, Jeffrey can see it as well, and anyone else you want to share it with. Yeah. And okay, so we'll do that, and stop me anywhere there are questions at all. So, so I'm going to click on in this back to member home where the cursor is now. From anywhere that you are, it's a way to navigate back to what we call the member homepage, which is just this screen where it says Welcome Bill. And this allows you as a user to create pitches, to go down here and browse posted pitches and review them. You can do your profile and invite mentors and so on. But what we're going to do, I'm going to go through the experience first of creating a pitch and posting it, and then we'll take a look at the reviewing side. So as you'll see, I'm just clicking on create a pitch, and then you'll see I've already posted 2 pitches, and I did this so we would have something to look at when we go to review them. So they're just kind of dummy pitches that are in there. So we're now at a menu, and you could have in here options beside Accelerator, but right now, obviously, the goal is specific to the Accelerator, but with these folks, you may have additional goals beyond that, and we've added 2 templates, and we can certainly go beyond that, but one we had talked about was them creating their application video, and then this sort of week 0 assignment, which would be and again, we've sort of drafted this, but we can edit any of this. The idea being that they do a venture introduction to their peers. So we'll just take a look at the application video. And so essentially all the individuals would come in and do, you'll see it's essentially a questionnaire. And the goal here is to help them assemble their pitch assets. And so they're just responding to these questions. And what we found is that the pitch is not only formed much quicker by getting them to fill this in, but it's also they more consistently cover all the things that you want them to. So they would just respond to any of the questions here, and again, this is all editable. And then once they've completed it, they just hit save and continue, and all of this information would go into a text editor from there, and then they could wordsmith it and create a script and then go on and create the video. And what I'm going to do is skip back 2 steps, and we'll actually go and look at where that information goes. So that I'm going to go into a pitch that was already posted, and so this is the text, and again, you could move this around once it comes into this text editor, and create it in a way that is not choppy like it would be in a template, but more as a story. And you'll see a word counter down here at the bottom. This will keep them within the right number of words to stay within the 2-minute time limit. So that, yeah, and so we normally look at 150 words a minute as sort of a normal speaking rate. So this keeps them under that. And then they would create their video, and depending on if they're using slides or not, if they're not using slides, they can just host the video on YouTube and then share it with us with the embed code here. If they are using slides, and they're probably not, are they using slides for the application video? No. Okay. So, okay, cool. And so they just use YouTube. There is a site that we use if they are using slides. It's called present.me, and it actually allows the individual to have the slides and themselves on the screen at the same time, and really much better for reviewing. And you'll see on the right here, we've got all these sort of, this is a sort of a bunch of resources, and this takes them through the process of how to create their video, how to upload it, how to get the embed code on either YouTube or present.me, and you know, so it makes this process really easy. And once they have this, then they just hit save changes, and the script and the video get posted so that it can be reviewed. So pretty fast and straightforward. And usually what we find is that, you know, it's really just a couple of minutes, and people have their first drafts done, and then they go on and create a video, which we usually see they'll create 2 or 3 or even 4 videos, and before they post one, so they're actually self-editing and self-improving before they actually even get reviewed. So it's, you know, they can leapfrog pretty quickly. Questions about this so far? Cool. I'm going to log out, and I'll log back in as a reviewer. And so I'm going to go in with this email address. So just imagine now whether I'm a mentor or you know, a faculty member, or maybe even a peer, I can come in, and you'll see it's a, you know, very similar menu I come into, or it's the same menu, just my name's still Bill. It's just I'm in under a different ID. I'm going to go, instead of to make a pitch, I'm going to go to Browse Pitches, and I'm going to click here on View Details for one of the pitches that's listed. And this is that same pitch that we just posted. So here's the text, here's the video, and I can watch the video. And then I'm going to come down to a scorecard. And so again, just like on the drafting side, these criteria are all editable, but you know, kind of a couple of things that are good here. Number one is everybody that's giving a review will be consistent in terms of how they review, in terms of what they're getting feedback on. And then on the receiver side, that people will be able to assimilate that real easily because they're getting consistent feedback. So essentially, it's just going to be, you know, scoring for each of the criteria, and then adding comments that would make that particular criteria better. And I didn't put I haven't reviewed this, so you can't see, but if you scroll down here, you'd actually see the reviews that had been listed. So below this comments and ratings, you'd see any of the reviews that had been completed. So, and it would give an average score and all that as well. But again, these criteria are all editable. I just, based on what you had sent me, I kind of distilled this from that. So, yeah. And so that's kind of both sides of it, and then we can certainly go into the admin side so you can see how to add users and whatnot. But any questions so far? Yeah, so you'll see I'm back at, and you can do this. So you're, as an administrator, you're going to have 2 accounts. You're going to have one as an administrator, which we've sent you the credentials for, and the other, yeah, exactly. Essentially, yeah. And so if your reviewer site would look exactly like this, except for instead of Bill, it would say Amal, and you would just click down here on Browse Pitches on the accelerator, and this would give you a list of whatever pitches have been posted. In this case, you see 2, but obviously as you get going, you'll see many, many, many more. And so I would suggest that, that you're using this site and giving review on here mainly to help people improve. When you get to the place where you're selecting your finalists, you can certainly view the pitches on here. I would suggest not having, you know, so in other words, the mentors would be giving feedback on here. The judges, I would suggest not do their scoring on here, because then it's essentially public within your community, and it's not. This is much more. This is a skill development platform. So the judges, exactly. So the judges could definitely view the pitches here, and then I think I had mentioned last time we spoke, our Score My Pitch tool, that's made exactly for scoring sort of any type of pitch event, and it rolls up the results and all that kind of stuff in a real clean, easy way. And again, it keeps it very discreet so that when you want to share the results or the feedback, you can, but it's not public until that moment. Yeah. Did that answer your question? Yeah, cool. So I'm going to log out, and I'm going to log in. So we've been sort of in as a user so far, either as a student or a venture or as a reviewer. Now we're in as an administrator. You'll see the menu options are a bit different here. So it's two options up top, either to manage or evaluate pitch templates, or manage pitch and evaluation templates, or manage members. And then you can also export data. And you may want to do this, certainly you're going to have a benchmark early in the program, or maybe a couple early in the program, and you could certainly have periodic benchmarking that you do, and you could export any of that and manipulate that data however helps you sort of optimize your program or give proof of change and so on. The manage pitch and evaluation templates is straightforward. So you saw we had two different types of templates in. We have the sort of first objective, which was to the application video, and then the week zero. And you can, this may be a place where you just want to come and look at what each template looks like. So this particular one has, was it a 3, 6, looks like about 10 questions. It may be that we want to edit some of these. It may be that you want to thin it down a little bit. Again, I just put this together based on what I had heard. So when you look at these, there are really two elements. There's what's the name. So I usually look at that as sort of what's the goal question you're asking in this template. And then second, in this description, you can have in here additional information that adds to what you want them to do. You can also have links out to maybe there's a site that you want them to reference or anything like that that gives them additional information or whatnot. And you can change the types of questions and whatnot as well down here in the field size. But again, it's really easy to do this. We're happy to help you. And so right now, again, we've got two different template types. You're probably going to want to have, whether it's a week 3, a week 6, a week 9, and certainly your demo day. I think we'll want to build this out as your curriculum becomes clear. And again, we're happy to assess. So just going back to the administration home, the next thing is manage members, and this is super easy. So I believe I invited you and Jeffrey, and it just doesn't look like you've responded to that, but all you need to do, you would have received an email from Test My Pitch, and just so you know, and it's just something in our welcome kit, you'll see some pre-written emails that it's something we would suggest. Yes, so the site is private. So in order for people to gain access, you have to invite them. And it's really just a simple matter of clicking on this invite members, and this box comes up, and you can paste in as many email addresses as you want, and you just put them in comma separated, and you hit invite member, and it'll, in a second, send them all an email. The one thing that I would suggest is when you do that, is send out a companion email through your normal email system that says you've invited them, and they should look for an email from Test My Pitch. And we have pre-written text for you. And you want to advise them if they don't see it to check their spam folder. And again, that's in the pre-written text. And the only one sort of hazard we ever see with using the tool, particularly in a university setting, is just making sure that your users go to your site So there may be a time when somebody goes to the testmypitch.com site as opposed to your unique URL. So the more you can sort of make it very public as to within your community, and sort of in everything you send out, put in that URL so that it's better to keep it top of mind for them, because it's, you know, we start becoming, they use the generic sort of site, and then they won't get your templates, they won't be that won't be within your community and all that kind of stuff. So pretty straightforward. And the only other thing on the admin side is the export. So just if you want to export anything, if you do want to change the logo, which I think you had said that you might want to, there's some development going on there, just send it to us and we'll update that for you. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, you can't break it. Well, you could try, but sounds cool. Well, I'll send you this, once we're done, I'll send you this recording so that, you know, again, if you want to share it or refer back to it, you'll have that. But I'd give him the night off. Oh, that's brilliant. He I think the pitch has been done at this point. Oh, too funny. Oh, that's great. Cool. Oh, my pleasure. Hey, same process. I think the template's slightly different because you had a different goal there, but other than that, the process is the same. Yep. 100%. Awesome. Well, oh, my pleasure. Holler with any questions for sure. Yes. Exactly. Cool. Well, enjoy your weekend. Thanks, Amal. I shall do. I shall do. Thanks. You too. Bye now.